Hello, my sweet friends. This is Tracy, and I am so honored you stopped by to watch today's video. If you're new here, welcome. I am so happy you found me and hope you will consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the red subscribe button and the little bell next to it. This lets YouTube know that you like my country craft ideas and want to see when I upload new videos. All right, guys, so let me share what we're doing in today's craft. A few days ago, I gave my Instagram followers as well as my Facebook friends a sneaky peek of today's project. I posted my painted truck as well as my painted sign just to give a little behind the scenes look of today's project. I will leave my links here if you would like to follow me for behind the scenes and first looks. Okay, for this project, I'm using one of these DIY wooden trucks from Dollar General, and it comes in two pieces. The truck that is cut out like this, as well as a little stand. I am not using the stand, so I'm going to put that in my stash for another project. So the first thing that I did is I looked in my craft room for something that I could use about the same size to draw out to give the shape of the tires. And so what I came up with is this punch cup that I use like for paint and that kind of thing. So I would just suggest looking around your craft room and try to find a circle, something that will be the size of the wheels, or if you can freehand it, go right ahead. I'm using this Spa Blue Americana acrylic paint for the base of my truck. Now, Valentine projects do not always need to be just red and white or pink. You can use different colors to make different, collections and different pops of color. And it's all about, just putting a little bit of the pink and the red and the white in it to, accent it. Just like I'm using a little pink for the hearts. So I'm using this color of Americana paint. It is fuchsia, and I'm going to paint one of the hearts with that. And then the other color I am using is baby pink, and I just put 2 coats of each of these colors on the truck to really give it some good coverage. To accent the truck, I'm using desert turquoise for the color. And how I shade my projects is I use a flat paintbrush and I dip half of my brush in paint, the other half in water. Clean water, and then I blend that on a paper towel, and then I go around my project, whatever I want to shade. For the white of my tires, I'm using this 1 1/4 inch spouncer. It is just a little foam brush that is like, a circle that you can make really cute little dots. So I just fill it with white paint, and then I just figure out where I'm going to put my white, and I just pounce it on there. And then if it's not filled in enough, I'll just go back over it, and I will do it on both of my little tires to give it like the white part of the tire. Now for the fun part, I'm going to decorate my little hearts here on the back of my pickup. And to get some polka dots, I'm just using the end of my paintbrush, just a larger, that gives me a bigger dot. And I just dip the end of the paintbrush in paint, and then I just dot it on the heart. I'm dipping it every single time because I want my dots to be the same size. And if they happen to not be the same size, then I dip my handle back in there and just go back over it. Now I'm using a stylus that has a small little dot on it, and doing the same thing. I'm just dipping it in some paint and just kind of making 3 little dots just to give it just some decoration. I'm just kind of thinking of different things. So here on this one, I am just taking a little brush and dipping it in that desert turquoise paint and just doing some little excess just to give it a little decoration. My metallic silver paint is perfect just to shade here the little headlight, as well as put a little bumper on there and a little door handle. I am also going to use that to paint my little hubcaps when I get to that point. I am just going over the or around the white wall of the tire just to kind of enhance it and just to give it a little bit of color. Now what I'm doing is I have one piece or I have a wood slat that I'm going to paint just with white paint, and that is going to be the sign. I'm going to hand letter some the words "Be Mine" on there. And then I also have that other small piece of wood. I didn't have the package. I just had them in my wood stash. So I'm not quite sure exactly what size this is, but I get all of my little unfinished wood pieces in the unfinished wood section at the craft store. And they have different kinds of or different shapes and sizes and that kind of thing. And so then I'm just using some of that desert turquoise paint and doing the same thing by dipping half of my brush in paint, the other half in water, and then blending it on a paper towel. And then I will shade around my wood pieces. I just have a black Sharpie marker here and just hand lettering "Love Express." That is going to be like the sign that goes on the side of my truck door. And then for the sign that's going to go on my on my project, what I'm doing is I just want to give it a little bit more paint and a little bit more character. So I'm just taking a thin paintbrush and just doing some royal fuchsia, the same colors of paint that are in my project of my truck. I'm just kind of using that to enhance everything. So I'm just drawing some just trying to draw some straight lines, but I'm not going to be like extra perfect, because that is what makes the project really neat when it's not perfect. Because if you want perfect, you can go to the store and buy that. Anyway, so now I'm just taking a flat paintbrush and just hand lettering "Be Mine," and I get lots of sweet compliments on my hand lettering. It has taken me many years to be able to paint like this. I don't know. All I can say is all the glory is given to God, because He has given me this wonderful talent that I am able to paint like this on little projects like this, and be able to share it with you all. So then my black Sharpie marker is my best friend. I love how it just brings your project to life. I use my black Sharpie marker on almost all of my projects, and I just go around it. I do not care if it is not perfect, if the lines are not touching. I don't want it to be perfect. It is doing exactly what I want it to do. I'm just going around the project just to enhance my painted projects and just give it a little bit more. I added some white paint around the tires just to, kind of bring them to life. I just dotted the little dots just on the edges just to give it a little bit more. Now I'm just going to use my white puffy paint, just go around the hearts just to give it actually even more character. It's all the details that, you give to a project that really make it pop. So for my hubcaps, I have two little furniture plugs that I painted silver, and those are going to go on my truck after I splatter my projects here. I splatter with black, and then I go back over it with white. And so then now what I'm showing is how I painted my wood beads. I have these wood beads that I got from Amazon, and I just have them here on a floral stem and wire, and it's stiff enough where I can kind of bend it where they don't like all go together. And then I have this little styrofoam block that I keep in my craft room that I use for projects like this. And so I'm going to show you here, I'm about to paint some more of the beads, and I just put them on there. They kind of twirl around a little bit, but at least I'm able to paint the beads. Everyone has different ways that they like to paint the beads, but this is just kind of what works for me. And then I just stick it in that styrofoam until they dry. So I just use my rapid fuse super glue as well as some hot glue to attach my little wood pieces to my truck. First I did the Love Express sign on the door, and then now I am just attaching the little silver furniture plugs or furniture knobs to my tires as little hubcaps. I am going to be making a splatter screen door hanger with this project. So I have this splatter screen from the Dollar Tree. This is the one that just has the one knob, and I just used my Phillips screwdriver to take off that knob. And then ultimately, people usually spray paint these, but I'm going to use my Waverly Pink bubblegum chalk paint, and I'm going to see how this looks. And actually, I like the end result. I have a love-hate relationship with spray paint. I am not going to lie. I don't like to use it. I just don't like it. Anyway, so I decided to try to see how this would look with this just by brushing the paint on there. And I like the rusticness. I like the messy look. It's kind of splotchy in some of the areas. That's the look I was going for. And so I kind of like it. While my splatter screen is drying, I have my flowers here. Then I'm going to make just a little bouquet to kind of add to my screen to give it a pop of color. So I have just different flowers, either from the Dollar Tree. I have some greenery here from Walmart. This is the boxwood that is in the Walmart craft section, as well as some of the frosted boxwood that I got at Christmas time. And then I have this like baby's breath from Walmart. Now this right here is actually like a little pitberry garland that I took apart. The garland came from Hobby Lobby, and it was very easy to just take it apart, and you have those little sections like that that I can use in other arrangements. And so then now I'm just going to kind of just start layering these. I start with my little pitberries, and then I just start layering the little flowers on top of each other until I get the look that I like. Then I just take some floral tape and a zip tie and just tie them all together, and then I'm going to attach it with wire to my splatter screen. Okay, now I am trying to figure out where I want to put my things, like my bouquet and my truck and my little sign. I know that I already have my wooden beads on there attached with wire, but I haven't realized it yet until I get to a point. I did not realize that I was trying to do pink natural blue, pink, natural blue. And I haven't realized it yet, but I put two naturals on the strand together. And so, it's so funny because, you can look at something and you don't see it. And then you go back a few minutes later and then you see it. And it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that I put two naturals together. So that's why I didn't show how I threaded the beads on there first, because I'm going to realize that I have two natural beads on there, and then I'm going to have to redo it. And I'm going to show you what I did. So then now I am just attaching the little bouquet to my splatter screen, and then I'm going to glue on my truck and my sign. First, I'm going to make a little bow, and I just have some burlap from the Dollar Tree, and I'm kind of cutting off a piece where it kind of curls naturally. This turquoise and white ribbon is from Hobby Lobby, and I just make two loops. I staple it in the middle with my little tiny attacher, little stapler. It is one of my favorite tools in my craft room. I love it with my bow making. And so I have this ribbon that is cut at 12 inches each, and I dovetailed the ends of it. The pink stripe and the other pink and lime green and blue is from Craft Outlet. The pink burlap is from Dollar Tree. And I just kind of offset them just a little bit and just, tied them together. I use a Chanel stem to kind of hold everything together, and then just put the other bow on top of that. So then now I'm going to figure out where I want to put my little truck, and I'm decided to put it on the edge, and I'm going to use a piece of wire and thread it through the screen, and so that it kind of helps me with the truck attached. I wish I would have put a bit of glue on there as well. So if you recreate this, or if you do something similar, I would, just add some glue on the back of it, kind of around that rim. Mine was pretty secure, but I just wish I would have added some glue just for extra stability. I glued the sign on the screen just like how I wish I would have done with the little truck. And to kind of cover up the messiness on the back, I just have some felt, and I'm just cutting out a rectangle of that and just kind of gluing it where it will cover up the ugliness of the glue. If that doesn't bother you, then you don't even need to do this kind of step. But it just looked, it wasn't very appealing to me. So I just wanted to cover that up. And then now I'm just kind of positioning my bow, and then I look and see that I cut my angles. One of them, I cut them both the same way. So, mistakes happen. And so I just go back over it and I just cut them a little bit shorter so that my angles would be different on my little tails of my little bow, just kind of fluffing everything out. And so then now I'm gonna, now realize that my, I need to thread my beads back on. So I'm just doing a natural bead, a pink, and then a natural, and then a blue. I ended up, having to cut my wire a little bit shorter because they weren't all on there. It was just, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that you really did that, Tracy. And people, I'm so glad that I noticed it before I like finished the project. And you know, anyway, it was just two of the natural beads together. And so you saw me there. I was looking just to make sure I was going back over it. And so then I'm just attaching the wire through the splatter screen and just kind of, turning it around on itself so that it is secure. And we're in business. I just love the way that this turned out. Now I will share how this looks, as well as another one that I did the bouquet on the opposite side with the sign and the bow at the top. I'm not sure which way I like it better. They're both very cute. And like I said, Valentine's does not just need to be red, white, and pink. All right, guys, thank you for watching. If you recreate this project and would like to share it with me, I do have a free Facebook crafty community that you can share your projects with me that I have inspired you to do, or you can share your own projects that you've created or other people have inspired you to create as well. It is my free Facebook crafty community. I will have a link in the description below if you would like to check it out, as well as my other social medias. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your sweet and kind comments. God bless you all. I appreciate you so much. Y'all have a great day. God bless.